so we're going to be working on texturing the Gnome helicopter. So we're going to go ahead and work on the base color of the helicopter right here. So we're selecting the objects that we want to stay green. So we'll go through selecting each object with a black mask, swapping into a white mask so that you can see the color on the actual object. So we're going to go through selecting all the parts here. This object only has one texture group, so it's a lot more selecting, but in performance wise, having only one texture definitely helps your game's performance. So we're actually going to have the complete object be the base color, and then what we'll do is we'll stack colors on top of it. Then we don't have any issues where there's white spots that we accidentally mixed. So all of these textures, I have a pre-built stylized metal texture that we're building off of. So we use that as a base, and then we'll go through editing them to get the desired effect we want. So right now, we have the main helicopter being a green metallic material. And we're now going to go over and start selecting the propellers. So we dropped another stylized metal into the field. And what we're doing is we selected a black mask. And then now we're going through setting the white mask objects to decide what is going to take on the new color. And we're just going to activate a red or pink color to make it easier to see what objects we're selecting. So we have our propellers selected, and I think we're going to actually select these wings on the back end to match the propellers. Okay, so we have all the parts that we want selected. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the pink. So we don't want our propellers pink. And we're actually going to start messing with the metal color, and we're going to go for a dark bluish color for this metal piece. So we're just editing the blue. The toolbars are docked on my right monitor, so you won't be able to see that. But we're messing with these colors here to see exactly what we're looking for and finding the exact color. Got this nice darker blue with some texturing on it, some wear. So now we're going to do the frame of the blades. So the kind of lighter metal pieces is what we're going to be going for. So once again, we're going to drop another stylized metal material. And then when you're texturing, make sure you name your materials and have them in folders within this texture group so that you could always go back and change things later. So we named the last one copper blades. And then now we're going to be doing the frame. We're using our pink so we know exactly what we're selecting. With texturing these models, we try to get all the details. You don't necessarily need to get all the walls, because in theory, players wouldn't see it. But we do like to get all the details in case we wanted to showcase the model in any sense in the game. So we're going to mess with this metal, try to get kind of a silverish galvanized metal style. That metal's looking good. What we're going to do is add the guns in the front light to make them the same silver metal. So we're going to be going back into the object select mode. And we're going to select all the gun mesh parts. And then as of right now, we're just going to make the whole thing silver, but we'll be coming back to the gun to add extra details and then pop in an emissive layer on it. The guns are looking good now. And we're going to add the silver to the little control panel right there. Again, this is another detail that the players wouldn't necessarily see, but I like to add it in there so it's a complete model. go ahead and change this base color. Get a darker burgundy red, and then we'll actually invert some of the colors so we have some different colors throughout the model. And we're going to pop the canopy to be a darker green. And what we're going to do is we're going to add this extra part on top that connects everything. We're going to make that a green, matching with the canopy. We're going to go back to the silver and add this light. And drop another stylized metal material we had pre-built. And we're going to add a blast mask to it. And we're going to be giving some details onto the guns. Once again, we're going to set it to our paint. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. And we're going to make this a darker metal. So we're going to add more colors to this gun. Just adjusting a few spots that we missed. We're going to drop another stylized metal into the layer. And we're going to black mask it and select our paint color. We're going to start selecting the bottom part of the gun. we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to start adjusting the color, trying to get a contrasting color to the rest of the gun. We'll make this a nice metal brown. We're going to go ahead and add the machine gun belt, making it silver. We're going to make sure we do this on both sides. And the next things we got is the control arm, the gas tanks, and the seats. We're going to drop another stylized metal in. And we're going to start masking out the gas tank. Make sure we're doing it on both sides. We're going to try a red, see how it fits. We're going to select a spot we missed. And drop another stylized metal in. And we're actually going to, instead of a flat color for these glass tanks, we're going to do a metallic color. So we're making a black mask on top of that. And we're actually going to copy the mask that we just used on the flat color and paste it into the metal, making sure that we're naming our folders. And let's go ahead and try to make this a blackish metal. So that contrasts pretty control arm. So we're going to add another stylized metal. Name it control arm. And then we'll add a black mask. And then set it to our pink and start selecting the parts that we're going to want the color to be applied to. So let's play with this color. Let's try to have this control arm pop a bit more. Make it a bright green. And now we're going to do the C. So we aren't going to want this to be a metallic. So we're just going to use a fill material. And we're going to try to get a nice brown C. And we're going to put a black mask and start selecting the parts that we want the color to come through on. And then we're going to need to go to our base material. We're going to have to deselect the chair so we don't get any of the metallic properties pushing through. So we added some roughness to it so we don't have such a shiny material as it is supposed to be a C. And then now we're going to be adding our emissive layer. So we drop the fill into the layer details. And then we're going to want to mask off just the center of the guns. And we're going to make it just a solid white so that we can control it in the editor. So black mask material type to a PBR with alpha blend. And then we want to add an emissive channel and set the emissive color to white. And we'll just match the base color with the emissive color. As you see here, we have all of our different folders with the different textures, with their masks, and they're all named accordingly. So if we need to make, say, an alternative skin to the helicopter, or if we want to change some things up, it's a lot easier to come back and know which mask is what color. So now we're going to go ahead and save our project. And then let's go ahead and export the textures. So you want to choose a folder. So our folder is now selected. You want to make sure you're using the Unreal Engine package file type. And then I would recommend using Targa versus PNG. And then we'll go ahead and export. And we're going to go ahead and open up our Unreal Engine project next. And we will create the materials in Unreal Engine. We got our project open. So we're going to go to our content browser. And we're going to right click and hit import. So our textures are importing. So it looks like we had an issue importing our FBX. So when we go to animate and rig the helicopter, we will have to follow back up on that. We're going to go ahead and make our material. On the occlusion texture, you make sure it's uncheck sRGB. We're going to line all of our textures up. We're going to put our normal into normal, base color into base color. We'll put the green node of the ambient occlusion into roughness and the blue into metallic. Then we're going to take our emissive, hold M to get a multiply, put it into the A, put the output into emissive color. Then we're going to hold 3 and click to get a3 vector. We're going to put that into B. And then we're actually going to right click and convert it to a parameter. Name it emissive color. So what this does is it lets us change the color for the emissive parts that we made in Substance Painter. This is the reason we made it white, so that we can multiply it and make it any color. So you aren't stuck with just an orange gunshot. We're going to go ahead and save. And we have an error on the ambient occlusion, so we're going to have to set that to linear color. And that will solve the issue. And then in another video, you guys will see us setting up the Gnome helicopter. We'll be putting a gnome inside of it, as well as animating it so the rotors move and it shoots. That is the end of this devlog. Thanks for watching and stay tuned because we'll be updating the game. as we prepare for the demo launch for Steam next.